We're calling in the goddesses, Amaterasu, Minerva, and Kuan Yin, to share their messages they have with us this full moon eve, for this first full moon in 2021. Blessings and greetings, my beautiful sisters. But welcome, welcome, welcome. And to this first full moon. It's full tomorrow. So you have 3 days prior, 3 days after to be in that full moon energy. In case you don't know me, I'm Priestess Tora Iresh'nai moon, and I inspire, empower, encourage women to be in their divine feminine presence, power, and flow, and be embodied, and embody the goddess within and the goddess without. And I do that through my writings. You can catch me on my newsletter. I do pretty much every day an article in a newsletter, and I post those articles also on my website, right now in a mini magazine. I also do that through the goddess archetypes. I've developed a goddess archetype assessment, so you can find out which goddess is your archetype, and gives you insight into yourself, and helps you know yourself, and helps you embody yourself better when you know that goddess archetype. And I will post in the show notes the link to that assessment, which is completely free to take. And I have written a guide, an ebook that goes along with that assessment that you can purchase, along with a guided meditation to connect you with your goddess archetype. And the ebook goes really in depth into your goddess archetype. The free guide that you get is a summary overview, and the ebook is an in-depth guide. And so I will post the link to the goddess assessment in the show notes. And let me know if you've taken the goddess assessment and what your goddess archetype was. Because the 3 goddesses that came through that had a message for us today are also goddesses for the archetypes. The goddess Amaterasu is the goddess for the queen or leader archetype. Minerva is the goddess for the wise woman archetype. And Kuan Yin is the goddess that epitomizes the humanitarian archetype. I was only going to do just one goddess, but 3 jumped. And when I choose them, I like to just shuffle and allow whatever card that is the goddess that has a message to jump out. And today 3 jumped out. So the main one is Amaterasu, and she is the Japanese goddess of heaven, Queen of Heaven. And some of her qualities are courage, inner beauty, and self-acceptance. And one of her best known stories is about going into her cave, which brought about the first winter, and coming out, which was you can tie that to both the winter solstice and the spring equinox to her stories. Winter solstice is when she goes into the cave, and spring equinox is when she comes out. And the messages for all 3 of these interlink. So we'll start with Amaterasu's. And her message starts with courage. Have courage, my dear ones. It may seem dark and bleak, but the dawn is coming. Newness is on the horizon, but not yet here. Do not lose faith because you can't see the rays beyond the horizon. Within your cave, where darkness seems to reign, lies the seeds of your hope. They are germinating. They are waiting for the new light to fall upon them and warm their beds. They will sprout and grow, unless you dig them up to see if they are truly growing. Dear one, have trust and faith that they indeed are growing. Your desires are taking root. But like all seeds and plants, each one has its own cycle and timing of growth. So too does your desires, hopes, and dreams. Allow them to germinate in their own time. You may feel you are starving to taste those peas or radishes or tomatoes. But if you dig them up now, or try to force them to grow faster, to make things happen, your seeds will wither and die. Plant your desires and have faith they will germinate, sprout, and mature. Look around you at your garden. Are you so focused on one intention, one desire, that you've forgotten or can't see are blooming right now? You have planted much, my dear one, and some are waiting for you to harvest. Pay attention to what is within you now. Don't let your focus of the future blind you to the blessings ready for you to harvest now. It is the same with the past. Let go of the old, withered and dead, of past desires, past failures, even past successes. Weed them from your garden so you can see what is blooming now. There are flowers that bloom beautifully in the moonlight. Treasure these just as much as you do those which blossom in the sunlight. Both are needed. And Minerva, the goddess of wisdom, intellect, and the arts and commerce, and she's Roman. She continues the message in the same theme of the garden and our seeds and our plants. And what she adds is, your will tell you what is ripe and ready for harvest, and that which isn't ripe yet. Impatience and your ego may have you plucking the fruit from the tree ripe, rather than that sweet apple and that sweetness that you're expecting. Your mouth is filled with sourness, and you are disappointed the fruit isn't sweet. Allow your wisdom to temper and guide your ego and mind. And Kuan Yin, the Chinese goddess of compassion, mercy, and kindness, continues this message. Give yourself the gift of compassion and kindness you would others. Be kind to yourself. It is in this place of compassion and gentleness you will find the serenity to wait for your seeds to sprout and ripen. Be still. Be calm. Be patient. Allow your unfold to blossom in its own divine time. For those of you in the northern hemisphere, it is still the time to go within, to recuperate, to regenerate. It is still winter. things are still in that place of darkness. It's almost Imbolc, which comes in February 1st, and that is the time that spring is on the horizon. For those in the southern hemisphere, the harvest isn't quite here. Enjoy the summer sun. And for you in the south, everything's kind of flipped upside down. And February 1st, rather than be the start of spring, is that start of summer. It's actually starting the harvest. So my dear ones, Kuan Yin continues her message. Give each desire or intention the gift of growing and manifesting in its own time. Beauty, ease, and grace await you when you do. Be patient, have faith and trust, and know your garden is beautiful and filled with sweetness and joy. And just connecting in and seeing if these goddesses have anything to add in this now beautiful moment. And Amaterasu is adding, do not be afraid of the dark, because that is a place of rest. That is the place of insight and wisdom. That the dark is the element of the feminine divine, that which is deep within yourself. The light is when we found that wisdom and bring it out into the world. So right now, if you are thinking or feeling like things aren't happening, that your desires aren't manifesting, you feel like you're doing everything you can to manifest them, to make them happen, you are in that divine masculine energy of activity when you need to be in the divine feminine energy of receptivity, of going within, of receiving. Allow yourself to receive. Allow yourself to be held. Allow that to wrap you up like a warm blanket. There's a reason you close your eyes when you meditate. It's to go deeper within. So I am encouraging you to go deeper within and refine and gain clarity on what it is you wish to manifest. And then have faith that you have planted those seeds and they indeed are germinating. Their roots are going deep into the earth where they are grounding and where they find that nutrients. And when the time is right, they will push through the dark, warm earth to bask in the light of the sun. And so too will your manifestations. That when the time is right for you and everyone else that's involved in that manifestation, that your seed will sprout, it will grow and blossom into the beauty that is there waiting. Blessings to you. We are complete. So thank you for being here and sharing with me on this full moon and allowing me to share the messages of the goddess for you. And I know, as always, they are also messages for me. I need to have patience and know that my desires are manifesting, and even though I don't see it right now, they are. So this message was just as much for me as it was for you, and I'm taking it to heart. So what seeds are you planting? Allow them to germinate. Allow them to grow. And be aware that your timing, my timing, our human brain timing, and our human ego timing has nothing to do with divine timing. And I know for myself, and especially like this past weekend, I allowed my ego and my brain to say, why isn't anything happening? Why, I want more, what's going on? What am I doing wrong? That was all my ego. That was me forgetting. And I do this too. I forgot to go into my inner wisdom, my soul wisdom, to check within. And I let my ego and my mind do the squirrel. If it's not happening, it's not happening. What's wrong? What's wrong? What am I doing wrong? Oh, woe is me. And yes, I was sobbing and crying and woe is me. And then I remembered to connect and know and have that faith, reconnect to my faith and trust, and knowing that all is well. That to have that patience to allow the universe, to allow the goddess, to allow my spirit helpers to do all the work and the conspiring that they do in the non-physical world, for it to show up for me in the best way possible. Because if I try forcing it now, I'll just be beating my head on the ball and just giving myself a headache and bloodying myself, and that is not a pretty sight. Been there, done that. It's much better to just sit back, reconnect to your soul wisdom that knows. Look around, be grateful for what you have, for the blessings that fill your life. And I have so many blessings, and I was blessed to have a friend to sit with and to listen to me, to vent and cry and tell me it's okay. That I'm okay. Even in my messiness, I'm okay and I'm worthy. And I'm so grateful for that friend. I'm so grateful for the opportunity that I have to be walking this path and sharing it with you. And in my head space, gratitude can't live. And I forgot to be grateful. And I forgot the greatest power next to love is gratitude. And so I'm inviting you today to remember to sit with your gratitude. Express your gratitude. Write it down. And blow out the monkey mind, and all those ego thoughts that say that you're not enough, that you're doing something wrong, that life isn't worth living, that you don't know what to do. That's all just the ego brain. Let it go. Let it go. Tap if you need to. Tap those emotions out. Feel them. We're not bypassing this. We're feeling our emotions, but we're also recognizing when the ego's at play and when our heart's in play. And just checking if there's anything else the goddesses would like me to share with you. And I think we are complete. So may you have a beautiful full moon, this first full moon in 2021. There is an air of excitement in me and of anticipation of what's coming. The dawn is coming. I know it. I feel it. We're not quite there yet. And that's okay, because we still have some growing to do. We still have some self-discovery to do. Our seeds are still germinating in the warm, dark earth. But it's there. It's right there. And remember, it's coldest and darkest just before the dawn. The light is coming, my sister. The light and the sun is coming. It is rising. And it will for you just as much as it will for me and for the rest of the world. May you dance with the goddess in love and joy. All my love to you. Blessings, and I will see you in the next video.